Bulls Nation, we have more Chicago Bulls news to talk about. And ladies and gentlemen, there's been a lot of updates and a lot of clear messages from the Chicago Bulls about some new signings that we've made, as well as some previous signings over the past few days. We've got a clearer image now of what these contracts are looking like. And unfortunately, we didn't know at the time what these contracts are, but now we get the full understanding, and now we have a clearer idea of what the Chicago Bulls visions are. So without further ado, let's talk about some of the Chicago Bulls news about these contracts in this video. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Chicago Bulls related video referring to some of the updates on the contract situations from some of our recent signings. We did make another signing over the course of the night for me, and we will be discussing him in this video as well. But we get a clearer understanding of these situations. Many people didn't know some of the signings, what their positions are, if it's a non-guaranteed, if it's a guaranteed, a two-way. We didn't really know much about this situation, and it's finally good to see we get a little bit of a clear up on this. So before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about this situation. Are you happy or are you sad about the potential of these guaranteed and non-guaranteed contracts for the Chicago Bulls? First things first, we'll talk about the non-guaranteed players. According to my knowledge, it's Stanley Johnson and Matt Thomas that are not going to be guaranteed contracts for the Chicago Bulls, which basically means they've been signed on for training camp, they've been signed on to play for the preseason for the Chicago Bulls, but they will not be guaranteed the contract to enter the regular season until they prove themselves to the Chicago Bulls. It's basically what this is going to be about. Now, pretty interesting stuff here. First things first, I'm very surprised Stanley Johnson is a player that's going to be on a non-guaranteed contract. It's kind of sad to see how far he's fallen from one of the better players on Detroit to now being a non-guaranteed player. But again, there is an opportunity here for him to prove himself. And this is what Stanley Johnson needs to look at and fully focus on. Right now, he has the opportunity of a lifetime to play for a team that's going to be winning games, a team that's going to be able to use his services, and a team that's going to be able to give him an opportunity. And he needs to make sure that he plays the best basketball he's played in a long time. He needs to make sure he fits the system. He needs to make sure they do everything Billy Donovan and the coaching staff asks of him to do for him to become an eligible player for the Chicago Bulls. If you're asking me, this non-guaranteed contract is a good situation for him and for us. Because if he's not the right fit for the Chicago Bulls, then we can look at other prospects. And if he is the right fit for us, then he's shown that he's proven his worth to the team and to the fans as well. And he can get his guaranteed contract for the Chicago Bulls for the remainder of the season. Again, this also leaves the spot up for the Chicago Bulls for a guaranteed contract. So again, if we want to talk about more players to discuss, power forwards, centers, small forwards, whatever you guys really want, to be honest, there are opportunities there to go and sign more players if Stanley Johnson isn't the right fit. Same with Matt Thomas. Matt Thomas, in my opinion, has the most to lose in this situation because he's not a player that is very popular amongst the fans at the moment, because at the end of the day, he is someone that is a good shooter, but he's not necessarily someone that's a high-profile player. Many people don't know much about him. Many people don't see the value in having him in here. Despite what a lot of people may think about him, he has a lot to lose in this situation. So the Chicago Bulls have given him an opportunity, and he's another player that needs to take it as well. And once again, this doesn't necessarily just mean preseason. This means the training camp. This means working hard, training and on the court, so the fans and the coaching staff can see what you're all about. Matt Thomas is an unknown prospect for many Bulls fans. Not many people know much about this guy besides the few highlights that we have seen of him. We know he's a good shooter. We know he can put the ball in the net when it comes to the three-point line. But let's see if there's a little bit more to this guy that meets the eye, that makes us really want to give this guy a chance. And again, I feel like if you're asking me at this point who's going to get a guaranteed contract between those two players, I would pick Stanley Johnson because he's the most known, I guess, player in this situation. I know more about Stanley Johnson than I do about Matt Thomas, but the Chicago Bulls shouldn't look at it like that. The Chicago Bulls should look at it in a clean slate, and whoever performs at a higher level for the Chicago Bulls team and the needs that we have is the player that's going to get the guaranteed contracts, and maybe none of them get the guaranteed contracts. But it's good to know that update that both those players are on non-guaranteed contracts, and they're going to have to work their ass off if they want to play for this team. And who doesn't want to play for this team at this point? We seem to be making a very good team, if I do say so myself. And the guaranteed contract does go to Elise Johnson, who is on a 2-year deal. I don't know the actual guaranteed and non-guaranteed money that he's going to get. All of that I have no idea about. I did read about it, but I forgot about it very quickly. All I know is that he's a guaranteed player for the Chicago Bulls, which again, I'm very happy about. Of course, a non-guaranteed contract could have done well for Elise Johnson as well. But at the end of the day, there's power forward opportunities here. And I think he's the more of the power forward than Stanley Johnson and other players that we may have looked at. At the moment, Elise Johnson is going to be our power forward, our backup power forward, to say the least. He had a lot of opportunities in terms of the Brooklyn Nets, not too much on the Pacers, but he's going to have the biggest opportunity on the Chicago Bulls. He's probably going to have the most minutes he's had in his entire career, and we've already seen the glimpses of positivity coming out of his rebounding and his defensive stats, as well as what he could do on the court in terms of some of the offensive styles as well. So another big opportunity for him, hopefully with more minutes equals more production, and we just see how good of a player he can be coming off of the bench. A hidden gem in my opinion, and someone that if he does show out for the Chicago Bulls, will definitely be looking for more money going after his 3rd year, because he's going to be here for 2 years. So great signs, great things for the Chicago Bulls, and I'm really happy that Elise Johnson is the guaranteed contract for us, and I'm happy that we get to see him play for the Chicago Bulls this year. Now, this leaves one more guaranteed place for the Chicago Bulls roster and one 2-way contract. Confirmed now. This is what the Chicago Bulls have to work with. We have one more 2-way contract, and we have one guaranteed contract left on the Chicago Bulls. So Stanley Johnson and Matt Thomas are 2 players that the Chicago Bulls are looking at, and one of them can get the guaranteed contract. We still have a 2-way contract, and I do suspect the Chicago Bulls will be going after more players and bringing him into this preseason training, this training camp, and seeing what they're all about. And we did sign a player for the non-guaranteed contracts. We signed another one, and his name is Ethan Thompson. Now, Ethan Thompson, we already know who he is. He played in our Summer League season for the Chicago Bulls, and he had a very good Summer League, to say the least, as well. So it was granted that with the Summer League that he did have, he was going to get another opportunity. And it's interesting to see what he could do as well to battle for that position. And I think he can be a very good player for the Chicago Bulls. However, we all have our different opinions. We all agree and disagree in certain avenues. We will all have different things to say about this situation. So, another non-guaranteed contract added to the Chicago Bulls, and we're gonna have players fight for that position. And that's exactly what we need. We need healthy competition. We need players fighting for positions. We need to make sure we get the best possible player for our system, for our coach, for the fans, and also for winning games. And this is something the Chicago Bulls, I think, are looking heavily into with that last contract. Let's have players fight for it. Whoever is the better player, whoever is the right fit, whoever is going to be that guy that's going to step up to the occasion will be the guy that earns the opportunity. And I cannot wait to see the outcome. And hopefully we can get to see it firsthand in preseason. We get to see the outcomes. We get to see who's been the best player in the preseason out of those players, and more players to come. We do have an extended preseason roster, so at the end of the day, expect more of this to come for the Chicago Bulls. And I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the contract situations of every single player that I've mentioned today. And we'll continue the discussion of more players if need be for upcoming videos. Have a wonderful and safe day. I will be making an Elise Johnson role video for the Chicago Bulls, because at the end of the day, he's the only guaranteed player at the moment. So he's the one that I'm going to make a video about very soon. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.